We are on the record.
Great, thank you. Good evening, everyone. 6:32 p.m. on Monday, June 28th, 2021. This meeting is being live streamed as well as recorded for storage and viewing on our district website and our YouTube channel. The public can participate during hearings of individuals and delegates by submitting a written statement using the BOE questions form on our website or by signing up for live audio public speaks for the form also available on our website. Adequate written notice of this meeting of the South Orange Maplewood Board of Education has been sent to both townships and village clerks, the Star Ledger, the News Record, tappedintosoma.net, and villagegreen.com. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Augusto, can you please call the roll?
Sure can. Good evening, everyone. Board Member Susan Bergen.
Here.
Board Member Shannon Cuttle.
Here.
Student Representative Lily Horman? No. Okay. Board Member Thayer Joshua.
Here.
Board Member Anne Marie Manny.
Here.
Board Member Alyssa Malaspina.
Here.
Board Member Erin Siders.
Here.
Board Member Courtney Winkfield.
Here.
And Board Member Johanna Wright.
Present.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Augusto. I'd like to make a motion to conduct this meeting remotely due to the ongoing state of emergency. May I have a second? Thank you, Board Member Winkfield, for the second. All in favor? Mr. Augusto, I believe that's unanimous. Okay, school board meeting is a business meeting in public and not a meeting with the public. Oftentimes, it may appear that two members of our audience that the Board of Education takes action with very little comment and in many cases a unanimous vote. Before a matter is placed on the agenda at a public meeting, administration has thoroughly reviewed the matter with the superintendent. If the superintendent is satisfied that the matter is ready to be presented to the Board of Education, it is referred to the appropriate board committee. The members of the board committee work with administration and superintendent to ensure members fully understand the matter. After the committee discusses the matter, it is presented to full board for discussion or any action is taken. Only then is it placed on the agenda for action at a public meeting. Okay. We are now at the time for our first public speaks, known as hearings of individuals and delegations. This is an opportunity for you to share your concerns about an item on the agenda, but not a time for dialogue with the board. Let me pull up this list, Mr. Bonds, before I give it time. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, folks. It's sure. 1 second, folks. I apologize for the delay. 1, 2. All right, we will give. All right, the board requests that you state your name and town of your residence for the record. We will set the time to 3 minutes for each speaker, and I ask that you respect that time limit. We must cut you off so it does not appear as if we are giving anyone an advantage to share their views over another individual. Speakers have the full protection of free speech during public speaks. However, this forum does not protect you from the subject of your free speech pursuing liable or standard charges. Finally, the board recommends that all members of our community pursue the chain of command. All right, we're going to go to the audio sign up first. And our first audio public speaks is from Caitlin Whitlider from Maplewood. Mr. Bonds, is that community member on the line?
Yes, that community member's on. Community member Whitlander, if you press the unmute button, you should be able to speak now.
Not hearing anything.
No. What I'll do is I'll make the community member a panelist, and then we'll unmute and then bring her back.
Okay. Okay, so we're still waiting for Caitlin Whitlander.
Okay, can you?
Okay, there I am. Thank you. Hi. Sorry, it said it was locked, so I couldn't unmute myself. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Caitlin Whitletter, and I'm a proud resident of Maplewood. And tonight I speak on behalf of our SOMA community to address all of you directly, the individuals elected by our community to represent the best interests of our children. We ask that you please share with us what is being done to address the ongoing security concerns at the Underhill Sports Complex. Underhill has been plagued with safety issues for years now, and I believe that the South Orange Maplewood School District has been negligent in addressing these concerns as we now face the tremendous and senseless loss of our beloved Musa Fafana. Prioritizing the safety of our children should be of the utmost importance and should be urgently addressed. During the May 17th board meeting, the Board of Education directly commented on children not feeling safe attending events. This topic was treated as an afterthought with the focus on building of a new facility. This was just a few weeks prior to Moose's death. I would argue that delivering on a child's fundamental right to safety on school property should be our first and only priority until it's done. We cannot enter the 2021 and 2022 academic year with this critical issue left unresolved. I truly feel at a loss that the school district would knowingly allow children in this community to put themselves at risk. It's the definition of gross negligence and one which has ended with the death of a student. And I would like to now turn it over to our board members to answer the following questions as directly as possible because our community deserves transparency and we cannot condone inaction anymore. How do you plan on addressing the immediate security concerns at the Underhill Sports Complex? Who has been responsible for leading the safety and security of our student body since Dr. Thomas Shea resigned in the fall of 2020? And if no one has been appointed to lead that effort since Dr. Thomas Shea resigned, who has failed in appointing someone to this position? And last but not least, based on Chief Duvall's recent recommendation that the district keep Underhill locked and closed until a proper security assessment can be completed and security measures can be upgraded, can you please provide a timeline for when this will be done? And as someone in the community, I'm happy to help in any way that I can. And I appreciate your time today and for the opportunity to bring this topic to the floor. But this really, we cannot continue like this. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now move on to our written public speaks. Our first written public speaks is from Beth Constantino of Maplewood. Just give me a second here. Formatting. Okay, good evening. I'm writing to follow up on the concern I recently brought to your attention regarding the lack of crossing guards this summer. I have also alerted Village President Sheena Collum, Mayor Frank McGehee, the South Orange Board of Trustees, the Maplewood Township Committee, and the police chiefs of South Orange and Maplewood of this concern. Starting on July 6th, the South Orange Maplewood School District's extended school year will begin for over 250 special education students. Some of the students will be walking to and from South Mountain and Maplewood Middle, and they have a right to be safe just as they do during the regular school year. As a parent of a child with a disability, it is especially important to me you recognize that to be inclusive means all children are treated with the same safety standards all year long, including summer programming. I hope that you will advocate and do whatever it is that you can to ensure the safety of these students. Thank you. And that was, again, Beth Constantino of Maplewood. Our second written public speaks is, again, Caitlin Whitlander of Maplewood, and I believe you just spoke on this, so we will skip that. I just had to note it for the record. And that concludes our written public speaks for this evening. Dr. Taylor, any comment?
Thank you. And thank you to those two folks who took time out of their evening to bring us public comment on subjects that they find to be, of the utmost importance. So we're happy to provide some feedback. Just remembering that this meeting is a special meeting that was publicized and advertised for a specific topic. So I can't be very wide ranging in my comments, but I'll be specific. With the second comment regarding crossing guards, all students who attend ESY are offered transportation, every single one. There are some families who decide not to utilize our buses, but by far the majority of the students take the bus to ESY locations. I do not believe that there have been crossing guards in the past. I have checked with those who have a longer institutional knowledge of crossing guards for ESY, and there's no one who has a recollection of this being a past practice for our ESY program because transportation is annually provided. I have also given this information to our township officials as an FYI in our research of this question. To the first question and comment regarding safety and security, et cetera, the very specific questions, just to share with you that I know that goes without saying that our Board of Education and our administration, folks at the high school, our administration there and teachers, et cetera, we all have a deep concern around safety and security. We held a safety and security for the high school town hall meeting pre-COVID to speak about some of those concerns and issues, and instituted some security measures that we thought helped to make and keep our students safe. And as I've often said, I'm not comfortable discussing plans for improvement when it comes to security and safety because it makes us more vulnerable. And I do know that the board president and I have spoken, the mayor and I have spoken several times, the police chief has spoken with us several times. So this is an ongoing, very, very high priority and shared concern between both the townships, the board and the administration. And we're going to use that to frame our decisions moving forward. And so I'll keep my response at that, but just please understand that from our perspective, this is the highest of priorities, of course.
Thanks, Dr. Taylor. Now move on to the action portion of the meeting. To make a motion to move 4165 to discussion. May I have a second? Thank you, Board Member Manny. All in favor? All right, that appears to be unanimous, Mr. Garcia. We're now at the discussion with the understanding that this is a personnel matter. So any comments? Board Member Malsvino.
I understand it's a personal matter, but I have concerns about the process that occurred and also the lack of experience of the person and,
Board Member Malsmina, remember, we're, not to talk about the background of the
okay,
candidates.
okay, I'm sorry. I will say that with a $160 million bond, this is a position that we need somebody with, a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge, related to construction, costs. This is not a position where somebody can learn on the job. And that we need,
Just tread carefully, Board Member Malsmina.
I'm
Okay,
treading carefully. I'm trying to tread carefully. Please don't interrupt me. And that I believe we need to make sure that because this is such an important position at such an important time, that we are, making sure we have everything in place to make it succeed and for everything to work right, because this is not a time when we can fail or we can have people that don't, that we need as much experience as possible because of the position, how it is. And
thank you. Thank you, Board Member Malsmina. Any other comments? All
I
right,
have a
seeing no,
comment.
okay, sorry, go ahead, Board Member Wright.
I too I'm concerned about where we are going at this point in terms of our construction and our $160 million bond. Experience is certainly called for. I'd like to know how would a candidate with this number of years' experience and qualifications protect our students? And from the kinds of things that have been going on in the district that has made national news, what are we doing to assure that we have the best person in place for the job? And I have some real trepidation about that. It's troubling for me that we're moving forward.
Thank you, Board Member Wright. Any other comments? Board Member Cuddle?
I remuted myself. Dr. Taylor, I was wondering if you, with what extent you could you please give some background or some light to your recommendation? Thank you.
Thank you. I'd be happy to do so. I first want to commend the board for the really rigorous process that this candidate went through. And for those folks who be watching at home and aren't familiar, we went above and beyond in the vetting and the review process for this important position. To give you some background, anyone who's at a leadership team level in our district, when they get to the second or third level of the review process, the personnel committee chairperson from the board participates in monitoring and just viewing, right, the interview process that takes place at that level. And that interview process is with our senior leadership team. It's very intense, right? And because this position has such a connection to our Board of Education because of the school business administrator / board secretary role, the board president and the executive team, both of the vice presidents and I participated in the top two levels of this interview process. It wasn't just a question and answer exchange. We split those questions with a BA focus, business admin focus, and also a board secretary focus. After going through that interview process at the fourth level, we then reviewed. We of course rated the individuals individually, and after we completed our reviews individually, we discussed the candidates, and then we added another level to this process that included some really what I would call high stress assessments, where these candidates had to create a presentation based on a scenario dealing with a last minute budget cut and do it using our actual budget information. They had only about 48 hours to prepare that presentation for us. They also had to do a writing sample based on 3 or 4 different scenarios that are really applicable to our district and the communication between the BA and the Board of Education. After going through that rigorous process, we felt comfortable as an interview panel, and this person also was seen as more than capable from the SLT review as well. I totally understand questions around construction and the perception that this individual would be the lead person on our construction projects. And while that is very important, and this person does have a number of experiences with construction, it's also very important that this person knows and is well-rounded in all the areas of the business administration. We have to, we have a legacy of a tremendous reduction in audit findings. Our budgets process has been very successful in recent years, with us being able to not have to lay off important staff. We've been able to expand our academic offerings. All these things are also very important. And so I am very comfortable and confident in this recommendation. One more step that we took, again, beyond what we're required to do, is we did a detailed background check far beyond the background check required by the state of New Jersey to assure that we had confidence in bringing forward this person. I personally spoke to this person's current superintendent, and the review was, if I'm going too far, Joanne, please correct me, but it was a great conversation and recommendation, and a lot of, it just reassured the recommendation for me. And so,
you can talk about your
yeah.
perceptions based upon what was said to
Okay.
you.
Sure. From the interview process, I think that the EC would also share that from our perception, from our interview, that construction was seen as a strong point of this person and what they are bringing to the table. I have some specific construction projects that were completed under this person's purview. Am I allowed to share that, Joanne, or was that too far?
That's probably, oops.
That's too far? Okay. We'll do.
I just realized I had muted myself. I would not do that.
Okay. Well, just know that they are substantial. Are they the size of our project? No, but there's an experience there. And please also remember, and I can't emphasize this enough, that in your previous approvals, you have approved construction managers. You have approved a director of facilities to be over our supervisor of facilities. Our construction manager, Spiesel, is not a single person, right? And each of those general contractors has subcontract. All those things are just layers upon layers to assist. This is not a one-person management deal. This is an organizational management piece. And again, I'm comfortable and confident in this recommendation based on all the information that I just shared.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor.
If I may, one more time.
Go ahead, Board Member Wright.
This is not a job where we can hire on your potential in this role. We can't hire someone where we're giving them on-the-job training that we think they should have. This is going to be dealing with contractors, and I understand we have outsourced people to come in to deal with that. We have to deal with brokerage firms that issue bonds, keeping track of multi-million-dollar projects going on at the same time. We need to find that right person, someone who has at least experienced a district of this size and have more than the experience that has been stated. People, we are in, we need to do better.
Thank you, Board Member Wright. Any other comments? All right, seeing none, close discussion. Ms. Delgado, can you please call the roll for motion for resolution 4165? Please call in reverse alphabetical order, please. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your last comment.
4165 in reverse alphabetical order.
Okay, I thought, but I just wanted to confirm. Okay, resolution 4165. Reverse order. Board Member Wright,
No.
Board Member Winkfield,
Yes.
Board Member Siders,
Yes.
Board Member Malaspina,
No.
Board Member Manny,
Yes.
Board President Joshua,
Yes.
Board Member Cuddle,
Yes.
Board Member Bergen.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. The motion passes 6-2. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Okay, Ms. Butler, just confirming, we're going to exec, we're not coming back. So this is where I notice the next meeting.
Yes, that's true.
Okay,
That's correct.
all right. Board Member Malaspina?
New business, point of process. I'm just trying to understand, is there a section for new business in this agenda?
Hold on, I'm scrolling. There is, but normally we don't for when we're going to exec. So let me just, is it okay to have it, Ms. Butler? I'm just,
Yeah. So yes.
okay, thank you. So new business, sorry about that. Does anyone have any new business?
I would like to talk about the process of the evaluation of the superintendent. I think
All right. Board Member Wright, I just want to be cautious because one, I think we're about to discuss that in executive session. And two, I'm not sure that qualifies as new business.
Well, what would it
Be new
qualify?
business, and it would be personnel matters that would need to be discussed in executive session.
Explain to me how I'm trying to understand how discussing process is a personnel matter that has to be discussed in closed session.
I guess because we never talk about process for it. We never talk about evaluations of any employees in public, even the process for it. I mean, that's kind of what our May 10th personnel meeting was. We talked about the process in our executive session, and we came in public and voted on it. That's my understanding, but Ms. Butler, if I'm wrong, please correct me.
Generally, there has been discussion over the years about evaluation process when you're talking about the different formulas that are used for teaching staff members and utilizing Danielson as part of the evaluation process. I do not believe that discussion of the process used in this instance for the superintendent's evaluation, which is a current issue on the agenda, is appropriate for discussion in public.
Thank you. Board Member Cuddle?
Just for a point of clarification, looking at, so the new business looks like it might have been, new business is listed, but it's also listed under usually what the president's statement is about our next meetings and the further information. So I just for a point of clarification, maybe the agenda looks like it maybe got flipped. So I just want to point that out.
It's usually where it appears, that information typically appears under the new business. And I believe the practice has been that it's opened up for new business, and then at the end, the board president will go through the notifications.
Thank you.
I do have some more new business if we cannot discuss the other one. I would
Go ahead,
like,
Board Member Malaspina.
I would like there's two announcements I think the community needs to know about. One, I would like to personally thank the police officers from Maplewood who came and helped our students during prom. We had 2 students that didn't have their COVID information, and the officers went above and beyond the call of duty and took them to get a rapid COVID test so that they could participate in prom. And these children have been through so much, and for those officers to do that, I commend them on their actions. And another thing is, I would like to say that there was going to be a tomorrow night at 6 p.m. There's going to be a rally for justice for Musa at Ritzer Field, and that I would like as many people as possible to attend that. And I would personally like to thank ex Maplewood Mayor Profeta, who donated $10,000 in hopes of finding a reward so that we can get justice for Musa. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Spino. One point of clarification, I believe that rally is on the 30th, which is Wednesday.
Oh, sorry.
Thank
I
you.
am very sorry about that. I thought it was tomorrow. It is Wednesday. I'm thinking today is Tuesday, but it's really Wednesday. Yes. So please, everybody, come out to the rally.
Thank you. Any other new business? All right, seeing none, I will close the business. The Board of Education will meet in a special public session on Monday, June 12th at 6:30 p.m. in the district meeting room, 525 Academy Street, as well as using the online video conference platform to interview applicants for the vacant board member position. The community can also view the meeting by following the steps which will be listed in the agenda. Following the public session, we will go into executive session where we will review candidate applications, and then the Board of Education will return to public session to appoint a candidate. Action will be taken. Can I have a second?
Excuse me, Board
Yes,
President
Ms.
Joshua.
Butler.
I
Yes, Ms.
believe
Butler.
you said June 12th. So I just wanted to
Sorry,
be
that is
clear.
Monday, July 12th. Okay. We can't go back in time. Okay, so with that correction made for the record, can I have a second? Thank you, Board Member Manny. All in favor? Aye, that's unanimous, Mr. Garcio. Thanks, everyone. I will see you in exec. Use the invitation I sent about within the last 2 hours.
Please do a motion to go into exec, please.
Yep. Okay. And with that said, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Board Member Cuddle. All in favor? Aye. And that again was unanimous, Mr. Garcio. I'll forward it to you so you can do attendance. Thank you all, and I'll see you in executive session.